You're listening to the Storm Report, your weekly insight into the Manchester Storm, brought to you by Storm TV's Matty Finnegan.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to this festive episode of the Storm Report. As always, I'm your host, Matty Finnegan, but that's about where the similarities end for this episode, because this time I'm joined for the entirety by your defensive pairing of Joe Morrow and Chase Harrison. Chase, this is your first appearance on the show. How are you?
I'm good. Excited to get this going.
Yeah, it's cool to get you guys on, especially as you guys are a D pairing. Joe, it's your second time on the pod. We were able to get you back. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm an easy invite. I'll always come spread the Christmas cheer and try to get some hockey knowledge out back to the fan base.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, we will be talking a little bit about Christmas a little bit later on. But first, you guys know the drill at this point. We want to talk about the games that happened in the previous weekend. We had the home game where we narrowly lost out in overtime against the Panthers, and we had the shootout win away at the Devils. Typically, people know a little bit more about the home game as more people are able to watch that. But we'll just go over that briefly. As a little something happened, our second goal was scored none other than by you, Chase. How was that goal for you? Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was big. Like, obviously a big goal in the game to tie the game, and then also, first one of the season, so it kind of takes that weight off my shoulders. Don't want to get down to those last few games and still not have a goal. So it was nice to get that one out of the way early.
How big of a deal is that in terms of the pressure on you? Because as a defender, you've got so many other responsibilities, but is that something that kind of nags on the back of your mind over the season if you don't get that milestone?
I mean, everyone's different a little bit. Like, for me, my game is more on the defensive side, so it's not a huge thing for me. But obviously, it's still like to get a few in a year. So it definitely is nice to get that goose egg out of there.
And if there's anyone listening at home that somehow wasn't able to catch that game, it was quite a good scoring day for the defenseman, as Sully had quite the game as well. He got a goal and an assist out there. So that was very entertaining to watch from a defenders getting up there and joining in on the attack kind of perspective. But we just ended up narrowly losing in overtime, and I just don't think we were ever able to get a foot in the game ahead of our opposition. What do you think went wrong out there in terms of that there, Joe?
I would say just the quality of play was very good. Honestly, I think that the Panthers have a very good team. They got a lot of good skating players. They have a lot of high speed skill. So for us to stay in that game, dealing with everything we've dealt with over the last couple of weeks, I thought it was a really good stepping stone. I felt that the fans in the crowd really kept us in there, going down, coming back, scoring a couple goals. The momentum in the building, you could feel shift. And then obviously, you push overtime and it comes to an end really early. But I thought we made a lot of good strides, and I thought that was really important for us as a team to see. And I think even talking to fans afterwards, or we skate with the fans, and everybody kind of gets to put their 2 cents in, and we love hearing everybody's opinion. It's always really fun to see a different perspective of it. So I think that they were happy with it. They were happy with the point that we got. We should obviously, always shoot for 2 points, but I think that we put a good effort in, and just in overtime, anything can happen. You're playing 3-on-3, you're one bad bounce away, or you're one good bounce away, from the puck being in the back of the net. So hopefully we can go up and on from there. But at this point, I think we're pretty happy with how things are going.
There's definitely reason to be happy with how things are going, with you going on the next day and getting an even better result. How's 1 point? That's all right. How's 2? Even better. You guys were able to do that in the shootout in the end. But it was something that we were speaking to the interim head coach, Mikey Moe. I'll ask you guys about that in a second, actually. But he said that he wanted to be better every night, and he wanted to put in a good performance and then put in a better one the following day. And this weekend was yet again another example of doing that. You're able to send it to overtime, not able to get it quite over the line and bring the 2 points home. So then the next night you go to Cardiff and do just that. Chase, tell me about the Cardiff Devils game. What was it like from your perspective?
That was another, good hockey game, back and forth, and kind of another one where, we got down 2 after the first, and we won the second, but we were still down 1. And Joe basically was like, this is where we're going to see kind of what kind of team we are, and and to come back and then eventually win the game. Like, even though we didn't get the 2 points against Nottingham, like we still had to battle back and get that point. And then kind of that same thing against Cardiff. Like, we were down and we didn't quit and stuck with it, and then eventually ended up getting the 2 points, which was nice.
Did I pick up there that Joe, you had a little bit of leadership moment there? Did you have a bit of something to say?
I mean, I think sometimes I do get a little frustrated out there, and when I see the team just have a small lull in performance, along with myself, I'm not perfect by any means. It does take a little bit of a voice to stand up and say something every once in a while. I don't think I would be the most vocal person in the planet to be able to do that every single game, but I do feel like the amount of respect that the players on the team give me, which I'm very fortunate to have, holds some merit. So I tried to do my part in that game specifically. I know it was just a couple little things that didn't go right in the first period, but little things obviously snowball into very large snowballs at the end of the road. So it's easier to just address it right on, and then the way that the team bounced back and then battled for the remainder of that game was awesome to see. I think the mood was incredibly fun. Obviously everybody rides that high into things. It's uh it's very different in sports. It's never really a good job. You tried, you either win or you lose. So that's kind of how I viewed things, and that game we won. So at the end of the day, you can't be mad at anybody for doing specific things. I think everybody did an awesome job that game.
It's great hearing you both talk about resilience and getting better every time, because that is something that the new interim head coach, Mike Morin, is stressing about all the time, and making the point that we need to go out there, we need to be better and kind of up the standards from the start of the season. I want to kind of talk to you guys about that from a player's perspective. What's it like having almost a change of guard and a change of tactics to get used to in the middle of the season? I assume you guys might have had this before in your careers, but in terms of like a player's perspective, while the fans get used to seeing it in the stands, what's that like for you guys putting in the work week in and week out? I'll start with you, Chase.
Yeah, I mean, like for me personally, it's kind of a situation that I'd never experienced before, but at the same time, when something like that happens, you know it's kind of on the players. So it was a big, like, we got to turn things around now, and no one's going to do it but ourselves. And it's just a buy-in thing, and the more guys we can get bought in and everyone committed to what we want to do, like, I think we'll be very successful.
You wouldn't be able to tell that that was your first time of kind of rebounding with a new coach halfway through a season, because you've taken to it really well thus far. But Joe, I'd be surprised if it hadn't happened to you in your career. Has it ever happened to you where you've had a change of coach mid-season?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely more than once. I think I've been a part of quite a few organizations that, from a younger age, you learn that it's a business right away, and I think that's what kind of molds you to understand the sport a little bit better. Is that I guess there's no leniency for bad performance. Like I said before, it's you either win or you lose. You can be the best guy in the world. You can have a family of 3 kids and they're all in school and having a great time. You've been there for 5 years and they got all their best friends in town, and you lose too many games in a row, and it doesn't matter. That doesn't play into the fact that you're getting fired and you're getting shipped off somewhere else. So I think it's very different, but the adaptability once you get to a certain age to come in and know your role, know what you do good as a player, know what you could work on as a player, and just be able to implement that into whatever system you're given is what will really ultimately bring success to hockey players. So I've noticed that a lot of guys have been able to do that, been able to take, maybe what they've been doing poorly in the past and change that right away with new leadership and new coaching statistics, or sorry, new coaching strategies. And I think that's really important. So that's a sign of a good hockey team. So as long as we got the support with that, I think it's looking really positive for everybody.
With the change on the top of the bench, it's gone well so far. It's got better every single time that I've seen you guys out on the ice, and long may that continue. The last question that I want to ask is about the shootout because it's one of hockey's biggest drama points. It's one of the things that I enjoy the most whenever I get the chance to commentate them because they're so much fun. But we're here to talk about you guys, and Joe in particular. You had a chance in that shootout that you're able to put top shelf with quite a quick shot. I was expecting you to have a little bit more of a dig towards the net, but you just shot that thing. Tell me about the decision making when you step up center ice. It's just you and the goalie. What's it like?
Um, I wish I had something to relate it to. I don't know. I feel like it's like when you're a kid playing recess and you're at the plate for kickball or something. You know, everybody's staring at you. Everybody's expecting you to do something cool. So the more times you get to do it, I think the more comfortability you have with it. Um, Personally, I think it's a lot of fun. I've always really enjoyed that little pit, that butterfly in your stomach that you know all your buddies are waiting for you to do something cool or to bring all the cheer to everybody. So it's interesting, especially in an away building. You stand behind the puck and you're looking at the goalie, and there's probably 700 different things you could do and or think of, and all you can really hear is people booing you and telling you you suck, and all the guys on the opposing bench are telling you you suck, and yeah, all you can do is skate down. But like you said, I think that I maybe fooled the commentators with what I was trying to do, and I think I might have fooled the goalie a little bit. I think that's the whole goal of a shootout. Is it's I don't know, might be 80% mental and 20% skill. So it's like you said, it's definitely one of the more dramatic points of hockey, and it is really fun. But yeah, it's a hell of a feeling to be able to score and skate back to the bench. And after, I mean, I would love to get Wenny on here and hear his opinion of what it feels like to make that save at the end of the game there to solidify the win for us. So um, yeah, like I said, everybody plays a part. Everybody has their own little little celebration internally, and I think it's a super fun part of hockey, and it was a great feeling there for sure.
I've seen him score that goal in practice a few times.
I was gonna ask about that because I know you guys have. I think you call it Juice Boy. I'm not sure how common it is across all of hockey practices, but I know we do it in Manchester where you guys kind of do your one-on-ones. You know what? Actually, I'll let you explain what Juice Boy is to fans at home that might not know it, and then I want you to answer in that. Does that kind of help you with the nerves if you ever have to do it in a game?
Yeah, so basically, like, we go in number order, so bottom to top, and then back down, and you just keep going, like doing shootouts. And once you score, you're out, like you're done, and essentially, last man standing has to buy juice for everyone for the following week. So there is that little bit of pressure when it gets down to 2, 3 guys left, and you're starting to sweat now because you're like, oh, I don't want to go buy 24 cans of pop for everyone or whatever. So yeah, I would say it helps a little bit with the pressure, maybe.
I reckon it probably does, but yeah, that just about wraps up this past weekend with the shootout win against the Devils, and a good weekend all in all. 3-point weekend. There's not much to complain about there, but we can definitely still get better, and no doubt we will. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Christmas is right around the corner, and time is running out to get your loved one something special. But don't worry, we've got you covered at the Storm Shelter. Just come on down to the Storm Shop this week and get your gifts. Opening hours are as follows: Friday from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. and on Saturday from 8 a.m. till 12 p.m. Whether it's stocking fillers or jerseys for the next home game, the Storm Shop has all you need for the perfect gift this Christmas. See you there. Right, as it is Christmas, we are going to talk about some things, some Christmassy stuff, because I want to kind of delve deep and see if there's a difference between what is traditionally British Christmas and what is a Canadian Christmas. I'm not sure if there are many differences, but I want to get to the bottom of it. So I'll kind of start with the foods and the stuff that you would traditionally see. And in the UK, I don't know if this is something you have over there, but we have pigs in blankets and we have stuff like that. That's an absolute staple. People love it. You've also got things like sprouts that most people don't like anymore, but your grandma probably will. Is there anything out there that when it's Christmas time you look forward to seeing out there? I'll start with you, Joe, and then I might see if it's different from Alberta to Winnipeg.
I would say that for me growing up, I think Christmas is just kind of it's whoever takes the lead in the family. And growing up, both sets of my grandparents took lead. So one side of my family was, very Ukrainian. So we had all the traditional Ukrainian dishes at Christmas time, even being in Alberta. And then the other side was like your kind of traditional farm family, which just was like whatever grew, whatever you saved up that you grew that past spring was basically what you ate. But as far as Alberta goes in Canada, I think that Christmas time for me when I was little was just the time that everybody would get to see their uncles and aunts and cousins. And almost every year we would find a frozen lake or frozen pond, and we would honestly play just a little pickup hockey game. And it was all about the hot chocolate. It was all about the steamy hot cocoa, and then just the food afterwards. But I think, I don't know, pigs in a blanket weren't my thing. They weren't in Alberta until I got here. And I'm trying to think of the other stuff here. Like the Christmas markets are basically what separates it. I don't think I ever been to a Christmas market um, before coming here. So I think that Alberta was just a time that we got to hang out with our families and play a little hockey on a pond somewhere. And that was it.
We'll get on to like the traditions and the Christmas market stuff in a little bit, but focusing on the food and stuff to start off with. I'd be very surprised, Chase, if you end up telling me that you also have Ukrainian Christmas food as well. But how similar is the Canadian side of things from what Joe's just said to what you know from your life?
Uh, well, yeah, same. So my mom's side's Ukrainian. So the one we would do two dinners. Like my mom's side, the grandparents would have the dinner there. That was the Ukrainian one. We'd have that on the 24th, and then the 25th, my dad's side, we'd go there, and we would have pigs in a blanket at ours. But for our Christmas dinner, it wasn't not necessarily any staples. It was kind of just like a whole bunch of like random stuff, almost like a bunch of finger foods and whatnot. And then you still have like, I think turkey and ham, like almost similar to like a Thanksgiving dinner a little bit. But nothing that stands out. I think that would be too much different. But we're kind of the same thing. Like the kids would all be out on the backdoor rink all day, and then dinner time would come, and we'd come in and eat dinner, and then basically get right back out on the rink and with family, cousins, and whatnot. So yeah, very similar.
It sounds like a very good time, and it's interesting to know that pigs in blankets are a success somewhere in Canada.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
pretty
we got 'em,
cool.
we got 'em.
There's definitely some British pride in me for hearing that. We'll move on to the traditions now, because you mentioned, Joe, that you've never really been to a Christmas market before you came to the UK, and obviously they're massive. The Manchester one is open right now. You've got the ones down south as well, and all across Europe actually. But there's also stuff like Christmas crackers that we always have at the dinner table. Is that something, Chase, that you guys did, or what were the traditions that you would have at Christmas time?
Yeah, there'd be little ones like uh you got those like little things that you rip open and they kind of pop, and then you got like the little crown thing that you put on. Like I think we had them at Con Club when we were there for our Christmas dinner. Um, but yeah, there's not too much. Like we'd have the Christmas crackers and whatnot, and like some Christmassy like candy stuff and cookies, and but yeah, nothing that's really sticking out too much that would be like significantly different than here.
Is there anything that jumps out to you, Joe, or is there really a similarity there in terms of traditional Christmas?
Yeah, I think it's very similar. I think the world's kind of getting to a point where everybody will find an excuse to celebrate any holiday at this point. So I think it's becoming pretty unanimous across the board that it's very similar. But as far as, yeah, separations between Canada and here, I don't think I have any. I think that they're very, very similar. Um, Everybody just loves to get together, and people love to give gifts, people love to get gifts. So I think it's a great time of the year for people just to kind of show their appreciation for each other. And I think that's just global, in my opinion.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I'll finish this segment with 3 quick fire questions. I can't imagine there'll be anything that you guys haven't heard before, but just to finish this segment up and wrap it up, you could say, to use a horrible Christmas pun. 3 questions. I'll start with you, Chase. First of all, what is the best Christmas gift you can remember ever receiving?
Ooh. Well, the older I get, the more I appreciate the socks. But I would have to say my dad's gotten me some nice hockey sticks when I was younger. Those ones are tough to wrap. Like you see it wrapped up and it's clearly a hockey stick, so you're pretty excited. It's just the mystery of what kind of stick it's going to be, and um, I was lucky to get a nice stick for a Christmas or two. So like, but I wouldn't get it always, So it was just on Christmas, the special day, I'd get the nice one. So that was always a big one for me. I also got a PlayStation 2 when I was like 10. That was pretty exciting times too.
What about you, Joe? Best Christmas present?
Yeah, similar gifts. I know the hockey sticks were always tough for me to get. It was hard because I treated them like it was like a brand new car, like how are you supposed to? It's all shiny, it's brand new, it doesn't have a chip in it, nothing. I didn't even think I could use it. I was just like, they were so pretty and they're so cool. But I got a couple of those for sure that were memorable. I know they're expensive, so that's why I think they're important to me. But I don't know if they have them here because it doesn't snow a ton. But back home, they had GT snow racers. It's like a how do I describe this? It's like a sled. It's like a tripod sled with a steering wheel on it. So you like sit on it, but you got a little steering wheel and a ski on the front of it. So you just fly down the hill, but you can kind of steer. It's hard to explain. I wish I could get an image for you, but that's about as best as I can do. And those things were, I mean, it was the most fun I had because I lived in an area where, I mean, you tie it to the back of a snowmobile and you're just flying around at 100 miles an hour. And it's just, I lived a very dangerous life as a kid. So in the snow, it was great. But I would say that was my number one gift. So if anybody wants to look it up, it's just a GT snow racer. And I don't know if they sell them anymore because I feel like it's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
I'm definitely going to search it up in a second once we finish recording this. I want to know what that looks like. And I wish we had enough snow to do that, although I probably wouldn't reach 100 miles an hour. I'd probably chicken out before then. The next one I have to ask is, who's the most Christmassy person on the team, would you say? This year's Manchester Storm team, who's the one that looks forward to Christmas the most, Joe?
Oh boy. I mean, I would say Steve-O. I think Steve-O absolutely loves Christmas time. I mean, just as much as he loves like Thanksgiving and stuff. Like he cooked a big meal for the boys on Thanksgiving, and I mean, last year he cooked a ton on Christmas too and helped everybody out. But he's very loves his Christmas music. I would say Steve-O. Steve-O's my pick for sure.
He's had the tree up since the beginning of November.
Is that your pick as well then, Chase?
Oh yeah, that was the first guy that popped in my head for sure.
All right then. I think the next and final question of this segment should be a fairly obvious one then. If we've had the most Christmassy, who's the least Christmassy person on the team? Who's the team Grinch? I'll go with you, Chase.
I mean, I think we did a TikTok about this, and I may have said Sully, but it's tough to say. Like, I it's not like he doesn't like Christmas, But when I think Grinch, I think Sully. So
okay, Joe.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that I picked. I mean, just knowing the Grinch movie and knowing how it pans out, I think I pick Yuli because he can be a little grouchy, he can be a little tired sometimes, and he comes off like that. But the whole heart two sizes too small until it gets a little love, and then he's a big teddy bear. I think that's Yuli. I think he fits the Grinch, but pretty sure he likes Christmas. I don't think there's anybody on the team that I could pin to be like hates Christmas.
Yeah.
So I think I would just pick most Grinch like would be Yuli.
It's good to know that there's a lot of Christmas cheer going around the Manchester Storm squad. That's all good. But yeah, that concludes the Christmas segment. And we have just the one game before the big day on the 25th. And that is an away game versus the Coventry Blaze. I won't spend too much time on this, but I want to kind of ask you both the same question of, from a player's perspective, what kind of preparations do you do for a team? Is it individual? Is it kind of like in the week building up to this game, for example? How do you guys approach the Coventry Blaze? I'll start with you, Joe.
From a team perspective, we really look at since it's only one game on the weekend and you have so much time to prepare, we do try to simulate and mimic what they do as a team. So power play, penalty kill, you start there with the special teams and make it easy. So if we're practicing our power play and what works against their penalty kill, we'll have to simulate what their penalty kill does. Watch a little bit of video. Focus on strategy primarily. So, different forechecks, different breakouts, different face-off plays, just things that maybe they lack in and we can excel in. I think that's basically what you try to accomplish during the week. And that was and is our focus during this week of practice. So, we know they're a great team. We know we can beat them. And that's kind of the attitude that we just have going into it.
Chase, having played basically every team a number of times already this season, but the Coventry Blaze in particular, having played them a few times both at home and away, do you kind of revert to normality now? Have you kind of got like a setting of, okay, this is what I need to be like when I play this team?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously you kind of think back on how you played and your team results, like previous times playing a certain team, and like Joe said, we have the full week to prepare for Coventry. We got the one game, so basically all thoughts are on them, and and what they do and what we need to do to play them. But yeah, I mean, you always kind of think back. It's like, what did I have success doing against this team? What didn't work? What, like, you figure out what they do well, and you essentially figure out what you have to do to counter it or have success. So yeah, I would say we definitely looking back on games, just kind of seeing did this work, was this good, did I play well, did I not, was the team successful, were they not, basically just like that a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, just the one game this weekend. You're not going to want to miss it. The way you can go and watch it, if you're not making the way down to Coventry yourself, is you can go onto the Elite League website and you can go and find the webcast link there. However, though, that concludes what you know to be the regular part of this show. But like I said at the beginning, this is a little bit different this week, and we're going to have a bit of a surprise feature now. I think you call it Cup of Joe. Take it away, Joe.
Yeah, we're gonna call it Cup of Joe. We'll pilot it here. We'll see what kind of feedback we can get. Anything and everything's appreciated from the fans, So I'm gonna Chase. I got 10 rapid fire questions for you. Short answer. It's either a yes or a no, or it's kind of a one word answer. So we'll just fire them off. You can take your time with them, but you are on a podcast, and awkward silence is awkward silence. So we'll try to spice it up. So I'm gonna go with, if you're a cartoon character, who would you be?
SpongeBob.
Nice. The first luxury item you ever bought?
Well, what counts as luxury?
I mean, anything above the norm of just an average purchase.
Is it like a watch or a car or something like that?
Yeah. Go with watch.
Yeah, okay, we can go with watch. Which teammate's life would make the best reality TV show?
Ooh, probably Yuli.
Yeah, you lose would be good. Would you rather be rich or healthy?
Healthy for sure.
Nice. Is it ever okay to lie?
No.
No. Okay. What creeps you out the most?
Oh, spiders.
Okay. Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
I'm with you on that one. Give me 3 things a person needs to be happy.
Oh God.
Yeah, testing out the brain.
Like good company, like friends, family.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah. Yeah. Food makes me happy.
And
Specifically Bunzy, maybe. We'll give Bunzy a shout out on the podcast.
yeah, Bunzy Burger.
Bunzy Burger, Altrincham. Amazing food, amazing people.
And yeah, maybe good health too. Probably make you happy.
Okay. Okay, I like that. Would you rather climb a mountain for 6 hours or skydive?
I think climb the mountain.
Okay, yeah, scared of heights.
Yeah.
All right, final one. What would you like to say to the Storm fans at Christmas time?
Merry Christmas to all. I hope you all have a wonderful time with loved ones and friends and family, and hope to see you all on Boxing Day at the shelter.
Hell yeah, that was perfect.
There you go. That was the pilot episode of the Cup of Joe segment. I like that. I thought it got a little bit philosophical in there with the "Is it okay to lie?" That stumped me a little bit. I don't know what I would have said to that.
But was I lying about that?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I
Um,
was saying. I like it.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think of that. You could use the comments or the reviews on whatever way you're listening to this, be it Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. I can't think of a better way to end that, though, than the Christmas message to the fans. That was a good one from you, Chase. In fact, I'll leave it, actually, with a Christmas message to the fans from you, Joe. And then I think I'll just let it leave from there. Take it away.
Yep, I think Chase nailed that on the head. We all love you guys. You know, without us, without you guys supporting us, you know, we'd obviously be nothing. And I think a lot of the fans know that, and I try to reiterate that as much as I can. Your support means the world, and Christmas time is, you know, a time to spread the love and the cheer, like everybody says. But I just want everybody to know that they are appreciated in our building. Anytime you step foot in that building and you cheer as loud as you can is always appreciated. I don't know how to show that on the ice other than, you know, bringing the best product we can, but definitely have a Merry Christmas, enjoy some time off, and overeat. Definitely overeat for me.
That was the Storm Report, brought to you by Storm TV. Tune in next week for more exclusive insights. Tickets on sale now at manchesterstorm.com.